interpreting the discriminant. Okay? I know it sounds like a really big word. It's not complicated at all. The discriminant is what's underneath the square root sign. So all we're dealing with is b squared minus 4ac. That's it. That's all we're looking at today. We're not doing the rest of the equation. Just underneath the radical, b squared minus 4ac. Okay. With this b squared minus 4ac, we're going to be able to tell if the parabola crosses the x-axis once, twice, or 0 times, depending on our answer. Okay? So you should probably write this down. If we get a positive answer, we know it crosses the x-axis twice. We have 2 solutions. If we get a negative answer, it crosses the x-axis no times, so we get 0 solutions. If we get 0, that means it crosses the x-axis once. We get 1 solution. Okay? Those are just something we're going to have to remember. All right. We know when we find b squared minus 4ac, we have to, I'm going to put this up here, b squared. We have to have it in standard form. Okay? Remember what standard form looks like? ax squared plus bx plus c either equals 0 or y. Okay, so let's look at this. We've got 2x squared plus 6x plus 5 equals 0. Is this in standard form? Does one side of the equal sign either equal 0 or y? So you know it's in standard form. Does x squared come first, then x, then a number by itself? That's also how you know it's in standard form. Okay? A equals 2, B equals 6, and C equals 5. So I'm going to put it in the discriminant. So I'm going to write 6 squared minus 4 times 2 times 5. Okay? And then all you're going to do, guys, is stick this exactly like it's showing into your calculator. So you take parentheses. 6, end parentheses, squared, minus 4, parentheses, 2, parentheses, around the 5, and you get a negative 4. If it's a negative, how many solutions do you have? No solutions. You're done. That's it. That's all you have to do. That's tonight's homework. Okay? Let's try another one. This one looks a little bit harder. I've got x squared minus 7 equals 0. First of all, does it equal 0? So we're trying to figure out if it's in standard form. Does the x squared come first? There's no x, but it doesn't come like third. There's just none. And then I've got a number all by itself. Okay, so it's in standard form. The hard part is a equals 1. What does b equal? 0, because it's not up here. It doesn't exist. And c equals negative 7. So again, we're just going to put that in the b squared minus 4ac. So I'm just plugging these numbers in. B is 0, a is 1, c is negative 7. So I just take out my calculator. Oops, this should be squared. So I've got 0, don't do that, squared minus 4 times 1 times negative 7, and I get a positive 28. So how many solutions are there? I get a positive 2 solutions. Good. Okay, we're going to do one more with just me doing it, and then we're going to do some around the room together, okay? All right. When I scroll this down, unfortunately, I think this is all going to disappear. So hopefully you have this down. Yeah. Okay. We've got come on, 4x squared minus 12x plus 9 equals 0. Is this in standard form? Does it equal 0 or y? Do we have an x squared, then an x, then a number by itself? Okay. A equals 4, B equals negative 12, and C equals 9. So again, I'm going to plug it into that equation. I've got negative 12 squared minus 4 times 4 times 9. So I take out my calculator. Negative 12 squared minus 4 times 4 times 9. I get 0. So how many solutions do I have? Do you have a question, Cheyenne?
Yeah, does it change the negative 12? Is it still a negative 12 even though it's supposed to be negative?
We're just dealing with b squared minus 4ac. So do you see how there's no negative in front of here?
Oh, okay.
Okay? Because we're not dealing with that negative b. If you put a negative, if you're plugging it into the whole quadratic formula, it would become a positive 12 out here, but it would still be a negative 12 in here. Good?
Thank you.
Yep. All right, let's move down to example 2. Okay. We've got 3x squared minus 7 equals 2x. So, Terrence, is this in standard form? What do I have to do to get it there? Subtract the 2x. 2x. And the reason I'm subtracting the 2x and not the other ones is because that term's all by itself. Okay? Melissa, how would I want to write this out to make sure it's in standard form? 3x squared minus, you're telling me the discriminant, which is great. What I want you to do is put this in standard form. So what comes next, the negative 7 or the negative 2x? There we go. That's what I'm asking. Minus 7 equals 0. Because you have to have x squared, then the x, then the number by itself. Okay, Tim, I know you haven't been here. Can you tell me what A is? It goes A, B, C, like alphabetical order. That's how we know. So A is, B is, negative 2. Gotta have the negative in front of it. And C is, what kind of 7? Good, because it's got the negative in front of it. Okay, Aaron. How would I put this in my equation? B squared minus 4ac. What am I going to do? What am I going to fill in here? So negative 2 squared minus 4 times 3 times negative 7. Good. Elena, you got a calculator? Will you plug this in your calculator for us?
I got 88.
Elena, will you plug this in your calculator for us? What did you get? I get 88. But the point is, Christian, is this positive, negative, or 0? Christian. Is it positive, negative, or 0? Okay, so how many solutions does the positive one have? You did it right at the top of your paper? Thank you. 2 solutions. Okay, let's try B. All right, Justin. Is this in standard form? Yes or no? Does it go x squared x, a number by itself equals 0? Does it do that? Then it is in standard form. Justin, tell me what A, B, and C are. What's in front of the x squared? Okay. What's in front of the x? What's in front of the x? And what's by itself? There we go. All right, Jalen, you ready? I want you to plug it into the equation b squared minus 4ac. Tell me exactly what to write. You've got b squared minus 4ac. It says what a, b, and c are. Tell me what to write. Okay, good. Okay, what's c? Okay. Hey, you got a calculator? Can you put that in your calculator for me? Tell me what your answer is. You got 0. So, Hayan, how many solutions do I have? Look again, look at the top of your paper. You did it right? If it's 0, it's got 1 solution. It's kind of counterintuitive. Oh man, you guys, I can't spell solution today. There we go. Okay. If it's 0, you've got 1 solution. If it's negative, it's 0 solutions. If it's positive, it's 2 solutions. Okay? 0 solutions. Does that make sense, Ty? Okay. All right, which one did we just do? Okay, let's go to example 3. All right. We've got y equals x squared plus 5x plus 8. Safaria, is this in standard form? Okay, can you tell me what a, b, and c are then? Okay. Okay. And c is what? Okay. Remember, standard form can equal 0 or y. Okay. All right, Jen. Can you put this in the b squared minus 4ac for me?
5 squared minus 4 times 1 times 8.
Thank you. Kirsten, can you plug that in your calculator for me? -7. Okay. Amaje? We got a -7. How many solutions are there going to be?
0.
0 solutions. Very nice. Okay. Let's move on to part B. All right, Yusuf. Is this in standard form? I'm on part B of example 3. What? Can you tell me what A, B, and C are? Cheyenne, can you put this in b squared minus 4ac for me? -4 what?
O squared.
Okay, -4
Then 1
times 1 times 3. Good. CJ, you got a calculator? Can you plug that in for me and tell me what you got? You got a +4. So, Miss Erica, how many solutions do we have? It's positive, so there's 2. 2 solutions. Okay. Can I turn this? Can we turn our paper over? Do our last problem? We're good? All right. So, the Centennial Fountain, let me move this out. The Centennial Fountain in Chicago shoots a water arc that can be modeled by the graph of the equation y equals, I don't have it up there, y equals -0.0006x squared plus 1.2x plus 10, where x is the horizontal distance in feet from the river's north shore, and y is the height in feet above the river. Does the water arc reach a height of 50 feet? Okay, that's all. We're not going to answer the second question. We're just going to answer the first question. So, Joel, I have a question for you. Were you listening when I read